So today I have some channeled messages from a Zeta collective. I received some downloads and I want to talk about them because they talked about some really interesting things. So this is a new Zeta collective, new to me rather, that I just started working with in the last like 3 to 6 months, more or less. And this Zeta wanted to talk about the fact that these Zetas understand emotions. But real quick before we get into this, I just started a brand new channel called the Starseed Chronicles, and I am going to go and post up a video about this over there as well. If you want to check me out, I also, if you want to follow me on my socials, I have TikTok and Instagram. You can check me out in my bio. There's links. What other housekeeping before I get into the messages? Happy Friday night. This is amazing. We're still in the full moon shadow and it's gorgeous. I have readings available for the month of April, and I'm booking now in May if you would like to book a session with me. I'm also going to be opening up my Patreon soon, so be looking out for that. There'll be classes and information coming for you guys. Okay, so I think that kind of like covers what I want to talk about as housekeeping. Let's get into the message. So there's a lot. There's a couple pages here, and we're just going to get right on into it. So a little about them. They said that they're Zeta hybrids. And I said, oh, like the SSani, like Bashar. And he said yes and no. He said that, yes, we are hybrids like the SSani. He said, but there's a bunch of difference of us. Like at this point, he told me that there are very few of the quote-unquote original Zetas left. Now, the original Zetas lost the ability to receive or experience stimuli. Hi, how are you? And then they said that they were unable to respond to stimuli, give birth, or feel emotions. Well, go somewhere then. You don't have to listen. Why are you here? You're being ridiculous. Feel free to leave. So they're saying that there are actually very few of the collective of original quote-unquote Zetas who are the ones who put out the call to the founders and asked for help and said, okay, look, we're dying. We can't have babies. We can't do the things, and we need help. And so with that, the founders came and they said, okay, how about Earth? At that point in time, Earth was a wonderful place to be basically helping to create hybrids and new life. Like there's so many, sorry guys. You guys are being so ridiculous. Like, what are you doing here? Feel free to leave at any point in time. Like, you don't need to be here. And really, you just look like a goofy Gus. Like, what are you talking about over here? Go worry about yourself, bro. Go find something better to do. You're wasting our time. Mm. Okay. You say you had a question, love? Thank you for defending me. Also, like, this person is just being ridiculous. To each their own. Go somewhere. I mean, that's you wasting your precious time. Listening to something you don't even agree with or believe in. So silly. So silly. Okay, so These Zetas are talking about how they understand emotion, how they are associated with Japan. They were telling me that in Japanese culture, they're like widely accepted and loved, and that they're celebrated there, which I thought was really cool. They were saying that, um, they were saying that they actually, the different hybrids make up the bigger of the hive mind, because this is the difference of the Zetas. The Zetas are a group mind. So it's so interesting. When I channel them, they actually come in kind of like fish. It's the most interesting thing. Your brother died last night. I'm so sorry. Ugh, death is nothing to be playing with. That shit is sad. It's also beautiful. I love talking to spirits who've passed on. They always look so free. They always amaze me when they're looking over their body and they're just like, what? Like, it's like that? And I was like, yeah, it's like that. And they're just like, I didn't realize. And this, I just talked to a spirit yesterday that was talking about, um, that death is really easy. That, like, it's like blinking, that it's not painful. Um, that you guys are the most. Are you having fun? At least you're having fun. Oh my goodness. Uh, I need some mods. Thank you. Thank you, Charlene. Go ahead and hit some likes, y'all. This is a show, these comments. Um, so anyways, I had a spirit come to me yesterday. It'll be the 40th anniversary of his death this year. And he was talking to me because I was with somebody that he loved. And he was like, my friend, the person I was talking to, is like, this person lives a life that's not average. Like, they're surrounded by mediums. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, it's easy to be insulated in your bubble and not realize that other people don't experience it, or other people don't have access to messages. Like, I grew up religious, and it was still okay that we communicated with spirits and that angels talked to me and that they sang to me and that I could talk to people in heaven and all those things. So it's like, I forget how normal that is because that's just my world. Like, I'm a fifth generation medium in my family. My mom is a medium. Her direct aunt was a medium. Her aunt's dad was the medium, like so forth and so on, back and back and back. And so these things are just normal to me. I don't really think about them like that. So the spirit was talking about how cool it is, and also how life-changing that is when you're used to receiving messages from spirit, when you're used to having people give you messages about spirit. It's such a beautiful thing. He was talking about how it leaves such a clean and pure heart because you worry less. You get the messages more. um I mean, believe if spirits are true or not for you, it's up to you. That's between you and your God. Like, that has nothing to do with me. You can believe or not believe. That doesn't change what I do, what I come from, or what my abilities are. That's just on you, bro. Thank you, Muy Magenta. I'm about to get it retouched up. Okay, so moving on. They're talking about how they're a group consciousness and that they're a collective consciousness, both physical and non-physical. So they were saying to me that even the original quote unquote Zeta species is um the original Zeta species, because of the hive mind, they actually understand what it feels like to receive feelings. To Because the crazy part was, is as I was channeling them, I was like, oh, I could be really logical. And then I was like, oh, in comparison to your mind, I'm not logical at all. And they're like, yes, you're very emotions driven. And then I went to a person in my mind who is like one of the most logical people I know. And they're like, yeah, still very emotion driven comparatively. And they're saying, but I said, oh, but you can see the emotion driven and you can feel that. And they're like, yes, this is what the hybridization has allowed, like enabled them to do. Um, they're saying that 2026 in particular, they actually brought some messages for 2026. They said the point of 2026 is integration of head and heart cohesion. So having an aligned mind and an aligned heart and bringing them together in the middle, because from here it says from the head heart cohesion, you're able to adapt and move into expansion again from a rigid place. They also went on to talk about 4D living and how we're fourth dimensional. Thank you. Thank you, Charlene. It says 4D living is about alignment over action. This is why head and heart cohesion is so important. Because without your head and your mind in agreement, or your head and your heart in agreement, you're just going to be spinning out and wasting energy. Thank you. It's a cute new top. I just got it. Thank you. You're so full of compliments, darling. So then they wanted to talk a little bit about the government, and they said that government acts as a reflection. And I said, what do you mean by that? And they said that it is a mirror of your own collective consciousness. They said the government will change when you change. Everyone is calling for so much change. They're saying change, 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 change. But what people are missing is that it starts here. It starts at the self, and then is a reflection of where we are. And so I thought, oh, how interesting with the hiding of the secrets and the one side of the government not talking to the other side of the government, and one side of the government having information that the other side wants, and vice versa, and all of that dance makes a lot of sense if it is acting as our reflective mirror, right? Because humans still are very afraid, often and regularly. Like, we live in more abundance, I think, than we have in a long time. At least that's what Spirit says. And like, Spirit's like, yeah, there's still war, there's still famine. They're like, but compared to what it's been throughout history, you guys are in one of the best places you've ever been, in that sense. And now we're free. We just have to choose it. So they were saying that since the government is a reflection of the collective consciousness, it will change when we do. And that they said that this change is inevitable, and it is already happening right before your eyes. They're saying these are the wild card times. The 2020s are complete wild card times. It's about seeing things clearly, knowing things for what they are, and then taking aligned action, calling to it from your heart if that's where you're at or what you want to do, and then going there. Physical action where you are just grinding to get there is not going to work. Fourth dimensionally, it just doesn't work. And so they were saying that this change is inevitable. It's happening right before your eyes. And that once the group collectively changes, then from there, everything else must rise to meet it. This will be the ripple effect. This will be happening soon. So this is the next part. They said that there will be 3 waves. 3 waves in 6 months increments, from equinox to equinox, from 2026, March 2026 until September 2027. And it said each wave will open people's eyes and ask them to see things for how they are, for how they truly are. And then it will ask them to envision what could be. So they said that how people will perceive the future and what can be will be dependent on their heart frequencies. So this is that head and heart cohesion coming in again, which they bring back to the 6 of 2026. They're saying 6 is that baseline, even though it is a 10-year and it is a fire horse year and all of that. Each number still plays a core piece, has an essence of the energetics of what we're doing. And the 6 is about head and heart cohesion, that it is literally required to go forward. From 6, we go into the 7, the 8, the 9, the 7 being the seeker, the 8, the CEO, the 9, the manifester. And so it's like through this process in the 2020s, we will go through this whole experience all around the focus of seeing things clearly. for what they really are, what they've been, and then where we can go in the future. And so Spirit's saying that if the heart is closed, then you'll replay old paradigms. Anybody who's who's in fear will be replaying out the old paradigms. Now, if their heart is open, they will go into freedom, opportunity, and possibility. Spirit said that this year is a 6th year, and that is a huge year and starting of a 3 to 5 year cycle where people are going to be moving into retreats, getting away from the noise. There's going to be a lot of noise. And there already has been with all of the things that we're going through as a people. It says people are looking to receive comfort and ease and relaxation while all of this hubbub is happening. And then they said lastly that it's very important that you take rest and don't burn out. This is a fire horse year, and there is no water in the chart, which means that there will not be any easing or calming of that fire. And so we have to be intentional about taking the self-care and the self-care spaces so that you're at your best, because you deserve that. You absolutely deserve that. So thank you for showing up and for listening and for being on my live. I hope you guys have the most beautiful Friday evening. Cheers.